Hospitals never truly sleep. Even when the world outside is silent, these long white halls breathe with whispers of life and death. For Mark Hendricks, the night shift was just another paycheck. He worked as a security guard at St. Augustine Memorial Hospital, a small-town facility in rural Pennsylvania. It was supposed to be an easy job. Watch the monitors, make rounds, stay awake. But on that night, the basement door wouldn't stay locked. Mark had been working nights for almost a year. He'd seen strange things before, patients talking to people who weren't there, alarms going off in empty rooms, lights that turn on by themselves. But tonight felt different. There was a memo taped to the desk from the day shift supervisor. Basement cameras malfunctioning again. Engineering won't come until Monday. Keep the door locked. Mark sighed, rubbing his temples. Always the basement, he thought. That place had a reputation. Rachel had worked there for over 10 years. If anyone knew the stories about the basement, it was her. If the door down there opens by itself again, don't go looking. Just call maintenance in the morning. Mark, what's down there anyway? Storage. Rachel, yeah, storage. And something else. Some rooms were sealed after an accident in the 80s. Just don't mess with it. Movement. A faint silhouette appears in the lower right corner of the basement camera, just before the static cuts out again. It was shaped like a person, standing perfectly still. He thought maybe someone had broken in. A junkie, maybe, or a patient who wandered off. He grabbed his flashlight, keys, and radio. The air near the basement always felt colder, heavier. He ran the key through the lock. It was already open. Mark called out, "Security?" "Hello." No answer. Just a faint hum of old pipes and something else, a dragging sound. The deeper he went, the louder the air felt, like pressure building inside his ears. Each step echoed back too slowly, as if someone else was following a second later. The dragging sound returned, now behind him. He moved closer, shining his light around. That's when he noticed there were fresh footprints in the dust. Bare feet, leading straight to the wheelchair. But when the chair finally faced him, there was nothing in it. Just a dark indent where someone had been sitting moments ago. The signal died as soon as he got close. Then a whisper came, soft, breathy. "You shouldn't be here." He spun around. No one. The voice seemed to come from inside the wall. The cabinet drawer was stuck, but when he yanked it open, he found something strange. Patient files dated 1987, all labeled "Transfer Denied." She won't stop walking the halls, even after we sealed the doors. He turned, and for the first time, he saw her. A woman, thin, hair covering her face. Her head tilted, eyes empty. Her bare feet left no sound, but her mouth opened wide, too wide, and she screamed without a voice. He didn't stop running until he was back in the security room. The monitors all flickered to static, except one. Basement camera feed. Mark Hendricks was never seen again. Hospital reports said he quit mid-shift and walked out, leaving his badge behind. But the maintenance crew later found his key ring at the bottom of the basement stairs. There's something strange about Route 19. Truckers say it's cursed. Locals call it the Dead Mile. And if you drive it after midnight, sometimes you'll see a woman walking along the shoulder, barefoot, in a hospital gown. For Eli Turner, night shift clerk at the gas station on Route 19, it was just another graveyard shift. He'd seen it all. Drunks, lost travelers, coyotes in the trash. But nothing like that night. It was 1:47 a.m. The highway outside was dead quiet. Eli liked working nights. No boss, no customers, just him and the hum of the coolers. He refilled the coffee pot, glanced out the window, and froze. He looked around the lot. No footprints in the dust. No sound but the engine ticking. He called out, "Hello? You okay?" No answer. "Can you help me?" He spun around. No one. At first, he thought it was a prank. A woman, barefoot, shivering, wearing a hospital gown. Her skin pale, almost translucent. He opened the door halfway. "Eli, ma'am, are you hurt? Do you need help?" "The woman, he's coming. Don't let him in." He should have called the cops. But curiosity won. He walked a few steps into the woods, shining the light between the branches. He wore an old brown jacket, one hand hanging limp by his side. When Eli called out, the man slowly turned his head, too slowly, eyes reflecting white in the beam. He tried the landline. "Dead. His cell had no signal. And then, on camera 3, the tall man was standing in the parking lot. Route 19 station, do not engage. Do you copy? Lock your doors. He's not human. Ili vrotse. The voice was trembling. Maybe a trucker? Or police? He pressed the mic. Who is this? What's happening? The voice came back, faint but clear. She's not real either. Something was moving between the shelves. He heard soft footsteps and a whisper, "Help me." She pointed toward the freezer door. A single word leaving her cracked lips. "Run." He looked for a weapon. Anything. Grabbed a wrench from a shelf. Then footsteps outside the door. Slow. Heavy. Eli raised the wrench, ready to swing, when the radio crackled again. Eli Turner, he's inside. Minutes passed like hours. Then he saw it, in the frost on the metal wall. A reflection. The woman, standing behind him. Before he could react, the lights cut out completely. Darkness swallowed him whole. The morning clerk found the place empty. Eli's car still in the lot. The freezer door wide open and frost handprints leading out. Police later discovered the gas station was built next to the ruins of Riverside Asylum, closed after a patient escaped in 1981. One patient and one orderly never found. Locals still say if you drive down Route 19 after midnight, the gas station lights flicker on by themselves. And sometimes, two figures wave you down for help. Every small town has that one building everyone avoids. For Dan Rourke, that building was the old Hollow Creek textile factory. It shut down nearly 20 years ago after a mysterious fire killed 7 workers during the night shift. But Dan didn't believe in ghost stories. He just needed a job. When the town announced a new contract to guard the old plant overnight, he was the first to sign up. He should have never gone inside. It was his first night, 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. All he had to do was patrol the grounds and make sure no kids were sneaking in. Simple enough. Except the cameras wouldn't stay on. Every feed showed static, except one. Camera 4, the weaving floor. The factory smelled like burnt oil and mold. As he passed an old loom, something caught his eye. Fresh footprints in the dust. Bare feet. Small, leading between the machines. He followed them, step by step, until they just stopped, like the person vanished mid-step. The old steam whistle went off at exactly midnight, but there hadn't been power in the building for years. Dan nearly dropped his flashlight. The noise faded, leaving a ringing silence. Then, faintly from somewhere deep inside the plant, came the sound of machines starting up. The machines were running, looms clicking, conveyor belts turning, as if hundreds of invisible hands were back at work. Densho, hello? Anyone in here? No response, just the rhythmic clack, clack, clack of the looms. He flipped switches, trying to shut everything down, but the controls didn't even have power. Then, over the hum of the machines, a faint voice came through the intercom system. Keep working, no breaks. Every locker was untouched, except one. Locker number 23 was open. Inside was a time card, punched out at 12:03 a.m., March 17th, 2003, the night of the fire. He locked the doors. This was where the fire started. But what bothered Dan most was the smell. Not smoke, not oil, but something sweet, like burnt sugar. He moved closer to the furnace. Someone had written a word across it in ash. Run. They weren't alive. Their eyes glowed faintly, their mouths opening and closing in silent screams. They moved in unison, toward him, step by step, dragging their feet like broken marionettes. It was him, the floor supervisor, the man who, according to local legend, had locked the workers inside during the fire to save the equipment. We keep working. You too. He ran toward the exit door, but the handle was red hot, glowing like iron. He kicked it open and burst out into the freezing night. They said there were no signs of fire. No machines had been active for years. But when they checked the security footage from the night before, Dan quit the job the next day. He left town within the week. But the new guard lasted only one night before walking out. He told police the same thing Dan did. At midnight, the whistle blows. The town still plans to demolish the building. But every time the crew tries, something happens. Power failures, equipment breakdowns, mysterious injuries. Some say the factory doesn't want to close. Others say it never did. If you felt that chill, you're not alone. These stories are real, and somewhere out there, someone's living their own night shift nightmare right now. Before you close your eyes tonight, hit subscribe and turn on the bell, because on True Nightmar, the next story might be yours. Comment below. Have you ever seen something strange during a night shift?